It was one of O'Higgins's ambitions that Hazel should be in the Vice-Regal Lodge. He carried it in London the week before he died, but I very much doubt if it would have passed the Dáil. A couple of days before he was shot, and they went on pouring lead into him as he lay on the ground, I met Winston, who said, "Well, John, are you getting ready?" Pretending that I didn't know what he meant, I said, "Ready for what? The Vice-Regal? That's a dream of O'Higgins's," I said. "Anyway, we're in favour of it here," answered Winston. I must say I was very much surprised and, of course, swollen up with pride that it had really gone so far. On the other hand, Ireland is a great country for prejudice and fault-finding against institutions such as viceroys and governor-generals. I think we have too much sense of humour to go in for that sort of thing with the seriousness of the English. I remember when Tim Healy was appointed, someone mentioned it to AE. "Useless expense," was the poet's curt and Irish reply. Hazel's first sight of the lodge was when she went to stay with the Wimbornes. She was thrilled by its beauty, which reminded her of the White House and the 18th century she loved. From that moment there was no other Ireland for her. She wandered about Ireland in a dream, finding out that she was really Irish. The Martins of Galway were her people, and it was purely by accident of birth that America claimed her. When she first met Edward Martin, she told him this. He looked at her and said, "You can't be a relation of mine. We never had a beautiful woman in our family yet." He hated women. She couldn't rest until she had explored every corner of the land. To her, it was the Ireland of Yeats, James Stephens, A.E., Lennox Robinson, Synge, and the rest. Hazel's Ireland was as unreal as a mirage in the desert. Although we received many anonymous and threatening letters, I don't believe that there was a youth in Ireland so misguided as to turn his gun on a woman. Had she been allowed to reign and had her health held out, she might have succeeded. I should have been no use. I had vague thoughts of Velasquez as ambassador for Philip IV, Van Dyck and other artists in diplomatic positions, but saw the absurdity of it all so far as it concerned me, and told Kevin so. There could have been no one more unfitted for the post, believing as I do that the more nations and religions there are, the greater opportunities for disorder. Hazel broke down when Kevin was assassinated. Apart from the tragedy, it shattered her dream of Vice-Regal Lodge. I was terribly sorry for her, for if there was ever a woman qualified for the position of Vicereine of Ireland at that period, it was Hazel. When I realised her disappointment, I felt I could have given up the paintbrush for the simple joy of seeing her great gifts gloriously framed for the benefit of the Ireland of her own creation, which may indeed have been the real Ireland. At the same time, I had a selfish sense of relief that the life I had lived for over half a century, and the one for which I was best fitted, wasn't to be disturbed. After O'Higgins's death, Mr. Cosgrave and the Currency Commission hit on the idea of recognising Hazel's services and commissioned me to paint her portrait to be reproduced on the banknotes, which, as President Cosgrave in his charming way said, every Irishman, not to mention the foreigner who visits Ireland, will carry next to his heart. She admired Cosgrave and realised that no other statesman could have done what he did in bringing Ireland in touch with the rest of the world and forming out of the chaos the most stable government in Europe at the time. To rise up as he had done in the midst of a bloody revolution without any of the machinery of a governing body, bring together in peaceful conference men whose chief argument was the gun, was an achievement of which history can show few no equal. But for him, Hazel's memory in Ireland might be soon forgotten.